gesagt, ich habe Besuch bekommen von Absai Kashululu. Was that right?
Yes, that was right.
Er ist National Community Voice Mobilizer bei der Organisation Women's Action for Development, die sich seit 1994 für die Rechte der Frauen einsetzen. Besonders Frauen in ländlicheren Regionen Namibias sollen so unterstützt werden. It's a pleasure to have you here, Absai.
Yes, thank you, Anna.
First question, because I really don't know. What is a National Community Voice Mobilizer?
Good morning, Namibia. The National Community Voice Mobilizer is a position at Welt. Is a position actually for a person responsible for coordinating and mobilizing the community voices in all the regions. Community voices is a substructure of Women's Action for Development. This means that our head office is here in Windhoek, where the management team is actually seated. But in all the regions, we have a structure where we have a chairperson, a vice, and a secretary and ordinary members. So this structure in all regions are called community voices. And I'm the mobilizer. So it means the communication between Women's Action for Development head office and the whole country is mostly based in this structure. They communicate problems from the regions to us, and we communicate programs to the regions through them.
Also, Absai ist ein sogenannter National Community Voice Mobilizer und erklärte mir, was das bedeutet. Es bedeutet nämlich, dass er verantwortlich ist für alle Kooperationen zwischen den verschiedenen Sektionen der Organisation Women's Action for Development. Das kann man sich so vorstellen, also in Windhoek gibt es das Hauptquartier und dann gibt es verschiedene Unterstrukturen, also Teile der Organisation, die in verschiedenen Orten sitzen, und er ist dafür zuständig, dass die sogenannten Community Voices, also die verschiedenen Stimmen der Gemeinschaften dort, dass die alle irgendwie zusammengeführt werden. Can you explain in a nutshell what Women's Action for Development is doing and what especially are those workshops about?
Women's Action for Development is a non-governmental organization. It was established in 1994 in a village, Omahenene in Omusati region. And yes, it was established with the aim to empower rural women. And it started off very small, with small gardens where women could grow crops and sell and make few money to provide some bread or other necessities for the children as they go to school, and also needlework where women used to produce some maybe tops for the girls or trousers for the boys. Few things that they have been doing until the organization grow bigger. So we mostly empower rural women, including men, and definitely these are rural marginalized persons, and we empower these people through training. We give these people training in order to uplift their lives. Now, the trainings that we offer are actually having two branches. We give them socio-political trainings. Socio-political trainings are those type of trainings which is to create awareness amongst the societies. For example, the laws and the civic education and the constitutions, human rights, gender-related issues and so on. And socio-economic is the other branch. Socio-economic is normally those trainings that you provide to a person, and after that give a qualification with which qualification this person can either go study further, maybe enter the tertiary institutions, and also maybe apply for a job or maybe start up an incoming generating project. It means this is really to economically uplift the society.
Ob kurz erklären kann, was Women Actions for Development tut. Women's Action for Development ist eine Nichtregierungsorganisation, die seit 1994 existiert, wurde damals in einem Dorf gegründet mit dem Ziel, Frauen, vor allem Frauen aus ländlicheren Regionen zu unterstützen, wie zum Beispiel dadurch, dass sie Gärten bekommen haben, Gemüse anpflanzen konnten, Brot backen konnten, nähen, also ganz einfache Arbeiten, die aber den Frauen helfen sollten, unabhängiger zu sein. Die Trainings jetzt, die zielen darauf ab, das Leben der Frau oder die Lebenssituation zu verbessern. Einerseits dadurch, dass man ganz viel Aufklärungsarbeit leistet über Gesetze, Zivilrechte, Menschenrechte auch. Auf der anderen Seite die zweite Branch oder der zweite Zweig davon ist sozioökonomisch, also dass man Frauen Bildungsmaßnahmen anbietet, Frauen sich weiterbilden können, damit sie zum Beispiel ein Studium anfangen können oder eine Ausbildung, ganz konkret darauf abgezielt. How did the status quo or the situation of women in Namibia changed through the work you do or without the work, but how did it change since independence?
Well, I would say the impact of women's action for development in the society. It is not only it did not only change the lives of women, but it also changed the life of men. So, but really the women in general in Namibia, you will see that we have more well informed women in the country. We have more responsible women who could keep their families together. We have more women who are taking up positions, be it in leadership, be it in definitely job opportunities, or in maybe creating projects. That's actually one thing I forgot, because at the 20th anniversary there was a testimony session where former people who were trained women. We even have a woman who is a parliamentarian today because of WED. We had women who became CEOs, CROs, even some of the councillors. You know, we really, you know, the impact of women's action for development is really visible in this country, and it was definitely tangible during those testimonies. And another thing is, well, even if we did not get rid of the poverty in Namibia, the rural women where took programs before, you can see the change, how these women come up with ideas of minimizing poverty and making sure that they provide for their families, especially when it comes to single mothers or definitely mothers whose husbands or maybe men cannot provide for them.
Absai hat gesagt, dass es nicht nur einen Effekt auf die Frauen hatte, sondern vor allem auch auf die Männer. Durch die Aufklärung ist das Thema Frauenrecht oder die Rechte der Frau, ein Leben ohne Diskriminierung, das ist viel, viel sichtbarer und greifbarer geworden. Sie konnten einen Effekt vorstellen in der Hinsicht, dass Frauen besser informiert sind, auch Männer besser informiert sind, dass Frauen plötzlich auch Führungspositionen übernehmen, bessere Möglichkeit haben, einen Beruf zu finden. Und so hat die Women's Action for Development einen Beitrag wirklich zu dieser Chancengleichheit, zu diesem am Anfang gesetzten Ziel beigetragen. Armut ist immer noch ein Thema in Namibia und immer noch ein Thema, das Frauen betrifft. Aber es passiert was, es entwickelt sich was, Frauen stehen plötzlich auf, haben eigene Ideen, wie sie die Armut kleinkriegen. We opened the topic of gender-based violence. How do you think, especially the organization Women's Action for Development, can tackle the problem at the root?
Yes, good, Anna. Like they say, united we stand and divided we fall. That simply means that no the government, no word can actually solve all these problems on their own. And that's why the government is definitely aiming at laying the platform or laying the foundation for organizations like WED to come on board, so that together with other organizations we can find the tangible ways of trying to solve these problems. By saying this, I'm trying to say that Because of this, the cabinet has passed actually a directive through which 3 clusters were created. And these clusters were created actually to address or to find ways, because organizations like WED, we operate at the grassroots level. We operate in all the regions, and we have the primary information on the ground. So what happens is that at these clusters, we have the GBV, gender-based violence and human rights cluster, which includes now the Office of the Ombudsman, Ministry of Defense, Safety and Security, WED, including all NGOs. So we come together there to bring forward all the researches that we find on the ground. So through this, definitely WED is going to contribute in order to have this well streamlined laws. And also secondly, we are planning to come and work closer. We are planning to work closer to the government and also closer with other NGOs in the country and CBOs. It's about networking. That's WED's plan, to work closer with everyone in order to tackle these gender-based violence and human rights issues that we have in this country. Especially, we have a problem with alcohol in this country. So we need to find a way how to combat this, how to solve these Shebin's problems, because all the evils are pointing to alcohol consumption in this country.
Während die Regierung und die Politiker natürlich versuchen, Gesetze und die Struktur zu schaffen, um Gender-Based Violence, die Gewalt an Frauen, zu reduzieren, was so der Ansatz der Organisation Women's Action for Development ist, um das Problem nicht von oben herab, sondern wirklich an der Wurzel zu fassen und zu begegnen. Und Absai hat einen sehr schönen Satz gesagt: United we stand and divided we fall. Also zusammen stehen wir und getrennt oder abseits voneinander fallen wir oder verlieren wir. Also es geht ganz viel darum, dass die Regierung das nicht alleine hinkriegt. Die Regierung bildet die Basis und muss mit den Organisationen zusammenarbeiten, um eine wirklich fassbare Lösung des Problems Gender-Based Violence zu finden. Das alles passiert auf einem Grassroot-Level. Das ist auch so der Ansatz von Women's Action for Development für die Zukunft, also noch enger mit der Regierung zusammenzuarbeiten, mehr zu unterstützen. Es geht alles auch um ein Netzwerk von NGOs, die sich gegenseitig im Kampf gegen Gender-Based Violence unterstützen.